Today is a very auspicious day, appearance day of personal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, Purushottam Thakur, our Gurudev, wrote his biography. Sadashiva Suto Namna Nagara Purushottama Vaidya Vangshot Bhavo Namna Dama Jo Balavo Braje. Nagar Purushottam was previously the cowherd named Dam in Braja. He is now born in a Vaidya family as the son of Sadashiva. Associate in Krishna Lila, one Saka, cowherd boy named Dam. Now he appeared in Gaur Lila as Purushottam Thakur. Dam was one of the 12 Gopals and a companion of Krishna in his childhood pastimes in Braja. In the 11th chapter of the Adilila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Das Kaviraj Gosvami has listed Purushottam Das amongst the foremost devotees of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Now, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sadashiva Kaviraj was a great personality. Purushottam Das was his son. From birth, Purushottam Das was absorbed in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he always engaged in childlike play with Lord Krishna. His son was named Sri Canto Thakur, a very respectable gentleman. His body was saturated with the nectar of love for Lord Krishna. From Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vrindavan Das Thakur has also named Purushottam Das as one of Nityananda Prabhu's chief associates. Sadashiva Kaviraj was very fortunate to have a son like Purushottam Das. Purushottam Das had no external consciousness of his body, for Nityananda Prabhu dwelt in his heart. Chaitanya Charitamrita. For 4 generations, the family of Purushottam Thakur consisted of eternally perfect, direct associates of Mahaprabhu. Kangsari Sen, Sadashiva Kaviraj, Purushottam Thakur and Kanu Thakur. Such a thing is quite uncommon. The Gaur Ganodesh Dipika identifies Kangsari Sen as Ratnavali and Sadashiva Kaviraj as Chandravali. Purushottam Thakur's wife was named Jannava Devi. She died while her son, Kanu Thakur, was just a young child. Nityananda Prabhu named the boy Shishu Krishna Das. It is said that Nityananda Prabhu's wife Jannava Devi adopted Kanu and took him with her to Vrindavan. Some say that he was also one of the 12 Gopals. Once while in Vrindavan, when Kanu Thakur was dancing in Kirtan, his ankle bell flew off. He vowed that he would make his residence wherever the ankle bell was recovered. The ankle bell was found in the town of Bodhkana in the Jessore district, and so he established his SRIMAD there, means residence. Madhava Acharya, that is Madhava Chattopadhyaya of Jirat, was Purushottam Thakur's disciple. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur has the following to say about Purushottam Thakur's SRIMAD, that is residence. Purushottam Das Thakur lived at Sukha Sagar, midway between Chagda and Simurali of the Nadia district. The deities he served were formerly in Beledanga village, but when the temple fell into the river, the deities were taken to Sukha Sagar. That temple was also swallowed by the Ganges, and so the deities were brought with Jannava Mata's deity to Saheb Danga Berigram. Since that place was also destroyed, all the deities were again moved about 3 or 4 miles to the village named Chanduregram on the banks of the Ganges, about 1 mile up from Palpara. So this is deities, they are doing their lila of changing their place to bless in different places. Devakinandan Das, the author of the Vaishnava Vandana, was Purushottam Thakur's disciple. There are 2 Vaishnava Vandana. The short one, Brindabana Basi Jata Vaishnavero Gorn. Pratame Bandha Kori Charana Bandha. That is the short one, and there is the longer one. So from the longer one, he writes, I worship Sadashiva Kaviraj with great attentiveness. He was constantly intoxicated with love and had no external consciousness. I worship my worshipable Lord, Purushottam Thakur. Who can list his incomparable qualities? He was merciful to those who were devoid of virtue, displaying the natural power of his compassion. When only 7 years old, he was so intoxicated with love for Krishna that he danced in a way that enchanted the entire world. The following supplementary information is given in the Gauriya Vaishnava Abhidhan. Some people say that Purushottam's surname was Nagar, while others say that the name Nagar comes from the name of the area where he lived. Since 14 villages, Beledanga, Berigram, Sukasagar, Chandure, Manasapota, Palpara, etc., are under one administrative unit of Panchanagar, this area is sometimes called Nagar Desh. Purushottam ate snake poison when in a trance state without experiencing any ill effects. This was a source of great astonishment to all those who witnessed it. Many of Nityananda Prabhu's associates often displayed such miraculous powers because they are not ordinary human beings. They are personal associates of Krishna, coming from his Swarup Shakti. So they can do whatever they like. So sometimes they show some miracles to awaken faith in others so that they will worship Supreme Lord. So today is appearance day of Purushottam Thakur, very dear associate of Nityananda Prabhu. I'm bowing down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy, for devotion to Krishna. That is our real necessity. Any other thing, even if we get it, we cannot be happy, satisfied. Only when getting service of Krishna will we feel satisfied. Nothing else can satisfy us fully and permanently. Then today also is the appearance day of one of the dearmost disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, named Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, he gave 18 sannyas initiations. He is one who got it second. First was Srila Bhakti Pradip Tirtha Maharaj, then Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj. So I'm reading here from the book of Bhakti Vikash Swami. In brief, some points are given here. A man of Vaishnava background from Jesore district was neighbor to some of the first disciples of Sri Siddhanta Saraswati, but disagreed with them on various issues. Getting no recognition from them, yet being drawn by their jaunty preaching, he eventually was inspired by Bhakti Ratna Thakur to be initiated by Sri Siddhanta Saraswati and was renamed Nayana Abhirama Das. Bhakti Ratna Thakur, I think he's a godbrother of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. 1 second. I'm finding here. Page is not given correctly. Page 3. Let me find. I think he's a disciple of Srila Bipin Bihari Goswami. 1 second. I have to find correct page. Yes, Bhakti Ratna Thakur, who considered himself a disciple of Thakur Bhakti Vinod, despite being his godbrother, both having been initiated by Sri Bipin Bihari Goswami. Yes, he also, I came to know about him because he also inspired Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj to come to Srila Prabhupada. So here, same it happened with Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Maharaj. So, continuing here, before long, his recently accepted beautiful wife died, shortly after which, in 1921, Srila Saraswati Thakur awarded him sannyas. Now named Tridandi Swami Srimad Bhakti Vivek Bharati Maharaj, he was Srila Saraswati Thakur's second sannyas initiate. Srimad Bharati Maharaj was a colorful, strapping, larger-than-life figure, towering over even the tall Srila Saraswati Thakur. You will see on some photos, he is the biggest one of all, Bharati Maharaj, and very strong figure. So Saraswati Thakur, who occasionally chaffed him for being too fat, pinching him and bantering, "Are you taking ghee?" This is like joking. Srimad Bharati Maharaj was so strict that if a brahmachari expressed desire to visit his former home, he would berate him. "Yes, go, serve your father and mother, but don't return here." For even minor discrepancies, he would strike devotees with his fists or a stick. Yet, when Srila Saraswati Thakur chastised him for that, he desisted. Srila Bhakti Sharan Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, also disciple of Prabhupada, who was staying in our mat, he was his sevak, one of them. He had 4 sevaks, so one of them. So he told this, that sometimes he would beat, but it was out of love, not because he wanted to harm, but out of compassion, to rectify that person. Also, here I remembered, or a stick. I heard one devotee from Slovenia. He was beaten by a stick by Srila Bhakti Puri Maharaj in Puri Dham. Something happened, so Puri Maharaj thought it necessary to beat with a stick. That is out of love. We should not mistake. That is extra compassion. Notwithstanding his heavy character, Bharati Maharaj was loved by nearly all Mat Brahmacharis for his great affection and caring. Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Goswami Maharaj also told that he very much appreciated the preaching of Bharati Maharaj in the beginning when he joined the Mat. Many of them aspired to join his traveling party, the most exciting and fun to be on, for with his impassioned harangues and piquant wit, he created euphoria wherever he went, articulating in simple language and a stentorian voice, means very strong voice. That is also Trivikram Maharaj told. Very strong, no need of microphone. Very strong. He could make audiences laugh and then cry, and interspersed talking with singing in an attractive manner. So sometimes speaking and then singing for some time, again speaking and singing like this. By his flamboyant appeal, there are many difficult English words here. By his flamboyant appeal, many in Bengal, Orissa, and parts of North India became disciples of his Gurudev, who sometimes commended Bharati Maharaj for his preaching whim, means he appreciated, yet also sometimes needled him for his populist approach. Once, while Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was lecturing in Benares, that is Varanasi, many in attendance, unable to comprehend his recondite style, started to leave. In a very learned manner, Prabhupada always used to speak high words and high philosophy, all so not easy to understand for all. So they start to leave. So Prabhupada quickly finished and beckoned Srimad Bharati Maharaj to come forward. As soon as Srimad Bharati Maharaj began reciting invocatory prayers, the persons crowding the exit returned to their seats, compelled by the magnetism of his voice. Mangalacharan means Agyanati Mirandasya, or like a Shakshadaritena, starting Vanchakalpa. So only hearing his voice, doing Mangalacharan, they returned back, wanted to hear. He then explained in a simpler format the points that his Guru Maharaj had been making, more in a simple way. At the reception, according to Srimad Bhon Maharaj, on his return from Europe, with 2 German devotees, the Bagbazar Gauriya Mat was jam-packed with people so excited that it was impossible to start the meeting over the din of their chattering. So much noise was there due to excitement. After all other attempts to subdue the hubbub had failed, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati called for Bharati Maharaj, who was lying sick in the ashram. when Bharati Maharaj arrived, he ascended the rostrum and thundered. What a shame! It is so shameful that we should bow our heads. These men have come from Europe, yet we are creating hindrances to them. On seeing this kind of behavior, what will they think of our Mahaprabhu's Dharma? The program recommenced amid stunned silence. So this had the successful effect when Bharati Maharaj roared there. Srimad Bharati Maharaj was largely responsible for inspiring the Zamindars of Baliati to donate for and erect the Sri Gadai Gaurangomat in their village. Another aristocrat to whom he preached was the Queen of Aul, a small town and province near Kotok in Orissa. Once, when she and her companions were honoring Mahaprasad at Satchit Anandamat, that is in Kotok, Srimad Bharati Maharaj handed the young Jati Shekhar Prabhu a mango to offer her. But Jati Shekhar protested that when serving Mahaprasad, it is improper to favor some over others. Srimad Bharati Maharaj retorted by severely rebuking Jati Shekhar. Overhearing the commotion, Srila Saraswati Thakur asked Srila Bharati Maharaj, "Are you a sannyasi of the Auli Rani," means Queen of Aul, "or the Gauriya Mat?" Even though that queen ultimately became a disciple of Srila Saraswati Thakur, he nonetheless continued to refer to Bharati Maharaj as the Auli Rani Sannyasi. Toward the end of his Guru Maharaj's sojourn in this world, Bharati Maharaj became estranged from the mission. But just days before Srila Saraswati Thakur passed away, Bharati Maharaj visited him. At that time, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati praised him as being a practical person and encouraged him to resume serving the mission. You will find in biography of Prabhupada, he came and Prabhupada told him, in love and rapture, our purpose should be the same. Should always have this goal in mind. We should serve Krishna either in this situation or quarreling situation or friendly situation, whatever is there. But we should always serve in all circumstances. So Bharati Maharaj, Prabhupada told you are a competent person, you take care of the mission. So after the disappearance of Prabhupada, when different acharyas were manifesting, so he and Srila Bhakti Shirup Siddhanti Gosai Maharaj, they started one mission together. They opened 3 mats, and after Bharati Maharaj disappeared, then Siddhanti Maharaj continued with those 3 mats in Puri and Calcutta near our mat, and maybe 1 mat is there now in Mayapur, but I don't know if it was that time, some place. So today is Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Gosai Maharaj's appearance day. I am bowing down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy. And we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj, when he saw the symptoms of Kali Yuga entering, then he went to conquer all places. So we heard Maharaj Parikshit then conquered all parts of the earthly planet. Bhadrashva, Ketumala, Bharata, the northern Kuru, Kim Purusha, etc., and exacted tributes from their respective rulers. Wherever the king visited, he continuously heard the glories of his great forefathers, means the Pandavas, who were all devotees of the Lord, and also of the glorious acts of Lord Krishna. He also heard how he himself had been protected by the Lord from the powerful heat of the weapon of Ashwatthama. When he was in Vam, he was protected by Krishna himself. People also mentioned the great affection between the descendants of Vrishni and Pritha due to the latter's great devotion to Lord Keshava. The king, being very pleased with the singers of such glories, opened his eyes in great satisfaction. Out of magnanimity, he was pleased to award them very valuable necklaces and clothing. Then we heard Maharaj Parikshit heard that out of his causeless mercy, Lord Krishna, who is universally obeyed, rendered all kinds of service to the malleable sons of Pandu by accepting posts ranging from chariot driver to president to messenger, friend, night watchman, etc. According to the will of the Pandavas, obeying them like a servant and offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parikshit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. One time also, I think Jayadratha, if I'm not wrong, he vowed that he will kill Arjuna next day. Then someone told to Arjuna, he vowed he will kill you tomorrow, but Arjuna went to sleep without any anxiety, and that person, he told him, you didn't hear me? He vowed that he will kill you tomorrow. Yes, I heard. But that is Krishna's business. He has to take care of that. So Arjuna went to sleep very peacefully, no problem. And Krishna was whole night, he was in anxiety. What he has to do now, how to solve that situation. There was some complicated situation. So like those who are surrendered to Krishna, they have no anxiety. And Krishna is always serving his devotees. That is not trouble to him, that is his pleasure. So here all different kinds of services he did. Then we also heard, now you may hear from me of what happened while Maharaj Parikshit was passing his days hearing of the good occupations of his forefathers and being absorbed in thoughts of them. The personality of religious principles Dharma was wandering about in the form of a bull, and he met the personality of Earth in the form of a cow who appeared to grieve like a mother who had lost her child. She had tears in her eyes, and the beauty of her body was lost. Thus, Dharma, means bull, questioned the earth as follows. Dharma Uvach. Kachid Badre Namayam Atmanaste Vichayasi Mlayateshan Mukhena Alakshaye Bhavatim Antaradhim Dure Bandum Shochasi Kanchanamba. Dharma, in the form of a bull, asked, Madam, are you not hale and hearty? Why are you covered with the shadow of grief? It appears by your face that you have become black. Are you suffering from some internal disease? Or are you thinking of some relative who is away in a distant place? Padair Nunam Shocha Si Maika Padam Atmanam Va Vrishaler Boksha Bokshya Manam Aho Suradin Hritayagya Bhagan Praja Utasvin Bhagavatyavarshati. I have lost my 3 legs and am now standing on one only. Bull is saying, I lost 3 legs. It will be explained what this means. Are you lamenting for my state of existence? Or are you in great anxiety because henceforward the unlawful meat-eaters will exploit you? Or are you in a sorry plight because the demigods are now bereft of their share of sacrificial offerings? Because no sacrifices are being performed at present? Or are you grieving for living beings because of their sufferings due to famine and drought? Famine means no food and this thing. Drought means no water. Susha in Slovenian language. So meat eaters means mlechas. Four legs. There is Shaucha, no, Tapa, Shaucha, Doya, Satya. 4 principles of Dharma. In Satya Yuga, they had 4. Cleanliness, no, Tapa, austerity. They could do austerity, then cleanliness and mercy and truthfulness. Then Shaucha was gone. No, Tapa was gone, sorry. I always mix these two. Austerity, then cleanliness was also gone, mercy also gone. In Kali Yuga, only truthfulness remains in those who are chanting Harinam. So 4 legs, maybe here also it is. 1 second. Yes. Here it is. Duration of life, mercy, the power of recollection, and moral or religious principles will gradually diminish. So, since Dharma or the principles of religion would be lost in proportion of 3 out of 4, the symbolic bull was standing on 1 leg only. So, according to that, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, Arakshyamanah striya urvi balam shocha si atho purushader ivartan vacham devim brahma kule kukarmani abrahmanye raja kule kulagriyan. Are you feeling compunction for the unhappy woman and children who are left forlorn by unscrupulous persons? Or are you unhappy because the goddess of learning is being handled by brahmanas addicted to acts against the principles of religion? Or are you sorry to see that the brahmanas have taken shelter of administrative families that do not respect Brahminical culture? So these all are symptoms of Kali Yuga, not good. Kim Kshatra Bandhun Kalino Pasrishtan Rashtrani Va Tair Ava Ropitani Itas Tato Vashana Panavasah Snana Vyavayon Mukha Jivalokam. The so-called administrators are now bewildered by the influence of this age of Kali, and thus they have put all state affairs into disorder. Are you now lamenting this disorder? Now, the general populace does not follow the rules and regulations for eating, sleeping, drinking, mating, etc., and they are inclined to perform such anywhere and everywhere. Are you unhappy because of this? You can see this. They are doing everything everywhere. That is not proper. Yadvamba te bhuri bharavatara kritaavatarasya harer dharitri antarhitasya smarati visrishta karmani nirvana vilambitani. O Mother Earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari incarnated himself as Lord Shri Krishna just to unload your heavy burden. All his activities here are transcendental and they cement the path of liberation. You are now bereft of his presence. You are probably now thinking of those activities and feeling sorry in their absence. Idam mama chakshva tavadi mulam vasundare yena vikarshitasi kalena vate balinam baliyasa surarchitam kim hritam amba sobhagam. Mother, you are the reservoir of all riches. Please inform me of the root cause of your tribulations, by which you have been reduced to such a weak state. I think that the powerful influence of time, which conquers the most powerful, might have forcibly taken away all your fortune, which was adored even by the demigods. Vasundhara, yes. Dharani Uvach. That is Mother Earth, one who holds everything. Some Vaishnavas, when they wake up in the morning and they step off the bed to the ground, they first bow down to Mother Earth and beg for forgiveness for offenses, because we are stepping on you, we are pressing you like this. They have such a vision, so they are respectful to Dharani, one who holds. Dharani Uvach, Bhavan hi Veda tat sarvam yan mam dharma nuprichasi Chaturbir Vartasayena Padeir Loka Sukha Vahei. The earthly deity in the form of a cow thus replied to the personality of religious principles in the form of a bull. O Dharma, whatever you have inquired from me shall be known to you. I shall try to reply to all those questions. Once you too were maintained by your forelegs, and you increased happiness all over the universe by the mercy of the Lord. So here Sai Maharaj is telling in commentary, the principles of religion are laid down by the Lord himself, and the executor of such laws is Dharmaraj or Yamaraj. Such principles work fully in the age of Satya Yuga. In the Treta Yuga they are reduced by a fraction of 1/4. In the Dwapar Yuga they are reduced to 1/2, and in the Kali Yuga they are reduced to 1/4, gradually diminishing to the 0 point, and then devastation takes place. But he's not mentioning here in the commentary. It is, yes, now it is coming. Satyam Shaucham Doya Kshantis Tyagah Santosha Arjavam Shamo Damas Tapah Samyam Titik Sho Bharati Shrutam Jnanam Viraktir Aishwaryam Shauryam Tejo Balam Smriti Swatantriam Kaushalam Kantir Dhorjam Mardavam Evacha Pragalbyam Prashrayah Shilam Saha Ojo Balam Bhaga Gambiryam Stairyam Astikyam Kirtir Mano Nahankritihi Ete Chanecha Bhagavan Nitya Yatra Mahaguna Prartya Mahatvam Ichadbir Naviyanti Smakarhichit Tenaham Guna Patrena Shri Nivasena Sampratam Shochami Rahitam Lokam Papmana Kali Nekshitam. In him means in Krishna reside truthfulness, cleanliness, intolerance of another's unhappiness, that is compassion, the power to control anger, this is kshantis, forgiveness, the power to control anger, self-satisfaction, straightforwardness, steadiness of mind, control of the sense organs, responsibility, equality, tolerance, equanimity, faithfulness, knowledge, absence of sense enjoyment, leadership, chivalry, influence, the power to make everything possible, the discharge of proper duty, complete independence, dexterity, fullness of all beauty, serenity, kind-heartedness, ingenuity, gentility, magnanimity, determination, perfection in all knowledge, proper execution, possession of all objects of enjoyment, joyfulness, immovability, fidelity, fame, worship, pridelessness, being, as the personality of Godhead, eternity, and many other transcendental qualities which are eternally present and never to be separated from Him. That personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all goodness and beauty, Lord Shri Krishna, has now closed his transcendental pastimes on the face of the earth. In his absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere. So I am sorry to see this condition of existence. Atmanam chanu shochami bhavantam chamarotamam devan pitrin rishin sadun sarvan varnam statashraman shraman. Yes. I am thinking about myself also. No. I am thinking about myself and also, O best amongst the demigods, about you, as well as about all the demigods, sages, denizens of Pitriloka, devotees of the Lord, and all men obedient to the system of Varna and Ashram in human society. Brahmadayo bahu titham yat apanga moksha kamas tapah samacharan bhagavat prapanna sashri swabasam aravindavanam vihaya yat pada sobhagam alam bhajate nurakta tasya ham abja kuli shankusha ketu kete SRIMAD pader bhagavata samalankritangi trin atyarocha upalabhya tato vibhutim lokal samam vyasrijat utsmayatim tadante. Lakshmi ji, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers and engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. I was endowed with specific powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems by being decorated with the impressions of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant driving rod, and lotus flower, which are signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me. So Krishna appears in this world and he also disappears. And when he is present, everything is all good and he is solving everything. But when he disappears, then bad influences again start to come. So now Mother Earth will start to explain what is happening in this world. We will hear about this tomorrow. That is why Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. In Kali Yuga, one avatar is Bhagavatam. And also one avatar is Harinam. Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. Nam Hoite Hoi Sarva Jagata Nishtar. By the name of Krishna, whole world can be or will be delivered. That is why we always have to take shelter of holy names, chant with great devotion. Then we can be aloof or protected from this influence of Kali Yuga. That is why always we have to repeat Harinam. So tomorrow we will further hear what Mother Earth will say.